Once again, people in Boston will have a chance to discover more of its arts organizations. That's the main purpose of ArtWeek, produced by the Boch Center and presented by the Highland Street Foundation. To tell us what's planned are the Boch Center's ArtWeek manager, Jane Long, and from one of the host organizations, Greater Grove Hall Main Streets, the executive director, Ed Gaskin. Thank you both very much for being with us. I want to start with Jane, because this is actually a statewide celebration now. So what goes on in general that doesn't ordinarily happen with the arts?
Sure. So this year we have extended across the state of Massachusetts, and in previous years we were just in the Boston region. And so we've really doubled in size this year and have over 500 events across the cities and neighborhoods of all of Massachusetts. And what Art Week is really about is giving people the opportunity to experience arts in a little bit of a different way, or to see something that they wouldn't normally be able to see during the year. So all of our events offer a twist or a behind the scenes or interactive element, so that people can go and not only experience the arts or see a show, but they can also interact with the people creating the art and have that opportunity to really learn a little bit more about the process.
I mean, it could mean instead of seeing a rehearsal by some organization, you could see them, you get to see them for free, right?
Yes, so many of our events are free. We do have events that are paid, but over 70% of the events are free this year.
Yeah, what about Grove Hall? You have a number of things lined up for there?
Well, on that same theme, for instance, like we have a restaurant, and that night I think they'll have kids preparing the food, and they will also have children authors who'll be reading parts of their work. So that's the kind of example where it's not something that a restaurant would normally do, but in this case that's something that's different.
James, what about that principle of the arts combining with, the surrounding economy? And you've got a lot of food events too planned in this too, right?
Yes, we do. We have an initiative called Art of Food, which lets restaurants and bars create a signature dish or a cocktail or a drink that's inspired by the arts. So we have some really great events lined up this year, like Ed was mentioning, where people can go anytime during Art Week and can have that.
Yeah, what does that do? I mean, this is a one-shot event, maybe, where you have the kids coming in, but at the same time, I think the object of a business, a main business strategy, is to create community. It's not just to sell food that they can eat at a table, right?
Well, I mean, for us, part of the reason why we participate in Art Week is it's seen as part of a larger economic development strategy. So what does it take to draw people into the community that might not come in otherwise? So they might come for a particular attraction. For a business, it's a good way to create some foot traffic. And so if you're doing these kind of events, and some of them we have actually inside of the business itself, then you might get customers in the door who would never come there before.
Now, another kind of art that you're going to be highlighting is what's found in the built environment around Grove Hall. And
built environment, that's kind of sophisticated.
I know, buildings we walk past all the time, we never pay attention, and then there's something there about design and even history, right?
Yeah, so we have a historical architectural tour. I think it's like a 90-minute thing where we have an architectural historian doing Ed Gordon, who will walk us through, and in Grove Hall that has a history, right? So you have from the early European history, there's like a Jewish influence, so you'll see the synagogues, all the way up to see like Art Deco. You'll see some of the more modern things that are there. And so they basically go from, as you're walking through the neighborhood. For instance, when I was there, I didn't, because I'm not an architecture person, I didn't even pay attention to all the architectural details and craftsmanship that you find in the different homes.
One of the things here that's going on is that there's this broader recognition that the arts are important for the economy and education. So it's not just for the arts themselves.
No, it's not. It's not just for the arts. So the goal behind it was for the Boch Center to sort of be able to get outside its own four walls and to go out into the communities and to inspire people to engage with their communities and to go out to arts programming that they might not know of or might not have gone to before, and really make it more accessible for everyone in Boston and now all across Massachusetts. And so it was inspired actually by the idea of Restaurant Week, where everyone could sort of jump in and have an idea and participate and really open it up to all the organizations and artists.
Which also goes on with an event like this, with what you're doing in Grove Hall, it helps a few more people maybe look at their neighborhood in a different way, take some pride in a different way too, maybe.
Yeah, and again, there's a range of events, so we're doing something, the zoo is having an Art Week event. So we're trying to get as many people as possible to participate because obviously there's just a wide variety of things that people have interests, and so if there's enough things, probably we'll have something for everybody.
And finally, Jane, we should mention you've got a website with a lot more details about what's happening.
Yes, we do. We have a full calendar of events on our website, which is artweekma.org.
Thank you very much for being with us. Jane Long from the Boch Center and Ed Gaskins from Greater Grove Hall Main Streets.
Thank you.
We'll have more news in just a moment.